Good morning, everybody. Bob Richards here with Simple Money Loans. Today we're listening to Point of No Return by Kansas, one of my favorite bands and favorite songs of all time. The reason we're playing this song, or we're playing that song, is we don't want you to get to the point of no return with a flip. We want to pass on all the advice that we can to help you have a successful flip. Previously, we had talked about flipping hazards, where you can get in trouble, and this is more of flipping advice. So we're going to talk today about how to rehab and how to price. We used to flip some houses, and my brother has flipped a lot of houses, and we see what our clients do. And we'd like to pass on a little advice that'll help you maximize your profits. It's all about maximizing your profits. By the way, we see some clients, they have very successful flips that they're selling for $150,000, and we see other clients that have some very successful flips that they're selling for $500,000 or $600,000. What do they have in common, and how can we use what they do to make more money? The first one would be, don't under rehab or over rehab the house. So you say, what do you mean by that, Bob? Every house is going to have its ideal amount of remodeling. If I'm looking at a house in a neighborhood of $300,000 houses, I'm going to remodel a certain way or differently than I'm going to remodel a house that is in a neighborhood where the average selling price is $300,000, or excuse me, $150,000 or $450,000. So we don't want to under rehab the house. We don't want to do too little, and we don't want to do too much. Too little would be, let's say, in a house that sells for $300,000, we don't want to do agreeable gray and the standard gray LVP, agreeable gray paint on the walls. We don't want to have gold doorknobs and gold door hinges. We don't want to have outdated lamp or lighting fixtures. We don't want to have outdated bathrooms or kitchens. Of course, we really don't want outdated kitchens or bathrooms in any home. Typically, a house that's going to sell in the $150,000 to $200,000 range, we can do agreeable gray on the walls. We can do the gray LVP. We can get away with some gold door handles, gold door hinges. We can get away with Formica countertops. We can get away with some basic light fixtures. If we're going to remodel a house in the $250,000 to $300,000 range, we want to do granite countertops. We want to change pretty much all the knobs in the house, the door knobs, the kitchen cabinet knobs. We want everything to be typically stainless or a polished brass or a stainless steel, not a stainless steel, but a brushed nickel. That's what I'm trying to think of, a brushed nickel uh, appearance. When we go into one of those houses, or when a client goes into one of those houses, they're going to change out, as I said, the doorknobs, the door hinges, the knobs on the kitchen cabinets, thinking out loud here. They're going to update the light fixtures. Most of the homes that we see today are either brushed nickel on the fixtures or a combination of brushed nickel, polished or antique brass, and some black and brown. But we want to update the lighting. We want to update the looks of the doors. We want to update the kitchen. We need to do a little bit more on those homes, but not too much. We want to try to save the kitchen cabinets if we can. We want to try to save as much of the house as we can, keep our cost as low as we can, but get the house to the right standards of that neighborhood and that selling price. The second thing that we want to talk about is how to price the home. What we see is, and what we've seen over the years, is you can always come down on the price, but you typically can't go up on the price. If we're going to make a mistake, we want to price the house a little too high and be able to come down. As we come down in price, if we priced it a little bit too high, we have more flexibility with what the buyer is going to ask for from the inspection and any extras that we need to do on the house. As we reduce the price on the house, we become limited as to what we can do and still maximize our profit. So let's start that price just maybe $5,000 or $10,000 too high. When we price it out in the market, we can see what kind of action that we get. If we're not getting the type of action that we want, then we can come down in price. When we come down in price, everybody that's looked at that house, or really it gets published out to Zillow as a price drop. So it's almost like we're re-advertising the house with a small price drop. And we can continue to drop that price until we find the right buyers. Now there's an art in this. We don't want to reprice it too many times, but we do want to leave ourselves a little bit of room where we can come down. If we've priced the house too low, we're getting all these offers in at one time. Now we're going to have to make sure that we keep the house on the market long enough to capture all the buyers that may be out there. And if we sell a house too quickly, we may look back and say, maybe I should have priced it a little higher. So in summary, we want to not underdo the house and not overdo the house to maximize our profits. And we want to price the house just a little bit high so that we know that we've captured all the value in the sale price of the house, knowing that we can always come down just a little bit if we need to. We are simplemoneyloans.com, 706-306-4602 or simplemoneyloans@gmail.com. Thank you.